Alright, today I'm going to discuss fatwallet.com. Fatwallet is a bargain hunting website which is centered around a set of forums which allow users to publish deals and rebate offers on a comprehensive range of products and services, although computer related products seem to dominate the listings. The site focuses on listings primarily for North American consumers and does not offer its service to a generic international and multi currency audience. In addition to the hot deals, which are published daily, there are dozens of free stuff giveaways that are discussed in the forums every day, as well as travel deals, finance deals, product reviews, and reviews of retailers. Fat Wallet began in 1999 with a $100 budget by Tim Storm, who you can see pictured in the lower right hand corner here. It is headquartered in Wisconsin, and it moved to Wisconsin from its home in northern Illinois in order to avoid a termination of affiliate contracts with online retailers such as Amazon.com that provide about 30% of the company's revenue. An Illinois law passed in March 2011 called the Main Street Fairness Act required online retailers with Illinois affiliates to collect and remit sales taxes to the state. They didn't want to do that, so they got out of there. Since 2005, Fat Wallet has directly impacted over $1.2 billion in transactions for partner merchants and ranks as one of the top 1,000 websites worldwide. So how does Fat Wallet actually work? Well, Fat Wallet users frequently post the sale prices of major retailers before they were even released in the retailer's advertisements, which embroiled the site in a major legal dispute in 2002 involving Black Friday advertisements. Several retailers, including Walmart, Target, Best Buy, and Staples, have served Fat Wallet with takedown notices pursuant to the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, claiming that their sale prices were copyrighted and must be removed from the site. Though Fat Wallet initially complied with the takedown notices due to the fear of liability, within 2 weeks it took the offensive, reporting the prices and arguing that the prices were uncopyrightable facts rather than expression. So let's take a look at how the Fat Wallet site actually works. Here you'll see my Fat Wallet profile page, which I've only recently created. You really don't have to even sign up for a user profile on Fat Wallet unless you want to take advantage of the cashback feature. They will email you information on cashback programs and also find a way to send you money or checks. But you can take a look at this profile page. It looks very similar to I don't know how many other forums there are out there. They're all about the same. You can have little icons and avatars that shows your cashback profile, some hot threads, stores you recently visited, and a couple other options. But it's very basic interface right here. A little bit of configurability to personalize it yourself, but all in all, this is the basic account page that I have set up. So let's look at this forum here. This is broken down into various sections. I've hopped into the hot deals section of the forum, which is one of the portions of the site that I visit most often. This lists the hottest deals of either the day or the week. Usually they're relatively new. You have the ability to search, as you can see on the left hand side. Everything is broken up into categories so you can filter your results if you're looking for anything in particular. But a lot of the times I just kind of scan the titles for something that I'm looking for, whether it be electronics or clearance prices up to 70% off, 80% off, something like that. We usually grab my attention. More so, I'm not looking for anything in particular most of the time. This is more of those impulse buy sections. If you see something for a really good deal, it might warrant some further research. So most of the time I will just go to the Fat Wallet homepage essentially and take a look at what's hot for the day, not enter any forums or whatnot. Kind of take a look and see, what are today's best deals and take a look. I'm typically just scrolling down here like this, looking for anything that jumps out, looking at TVs, electronics, computer equipment, clothing is good, hardware equipment and tools is another vice of mine, so I'm always looking for something like that. Um, so looking on this list here, you see some sneakers, you got some power supply for a PC, not a great price, monitor, more clothing, some 20% off coupons, things of this nature. Is usually pretty typical, hitting a lot of different retailers and products. So if anything catches your eye, so I saw one thing at the top here, that Walmart tent kind of caught my eye, so I'm going to click on that, and this is eligible for 1.5% cash back, and it takes me to Walmart's site, and here it says it's 139, but it was for 151. not according to the 21651 that the site says, but you can also look at independent reviews that Fat Wallet gives. Go back to their basically their forum, get to see registered members with their particular insight on a product. They'll give you their advice. Hey, this is great. Hey, it's no good. Stay away. But it's good to get some real world opinions sometimes to add to your amount of research before you're going to buy a product. So here to show you that some of these forums and deals are relevant. Take a look at a TV at Best Buy. This particular LG 47-inch 3D HD TV. It shows the model number 47LM8600. Doing a search on Fat Wallet basically for that model number, came up with this particular television at Adorama for $9.99, and there's a significant savings there. It's also free shipping, no tax. So it just goes to show you that, I know this is one example, but for anything that's either electronics or computer related, it's always worthwhile looking online. Is almost always going to be cheaper than big box stores, especially like Best Buy and Staples. I guarantee. If you want to see something, touch something, by all means go into the store. But go ahead and go online then, search by the model number, just like buying books for school. You can always find them cheaper online. Another thing that I find useful about Fat Wallet is the way you can specify your geographic location and then find deals and coupons relative to where you live. If you look at this particular page, these are the Raleigh Durham deals of the day. A lot of them are Groupons, Living Social deals from local businesses. I did get one here recently for the North Carolina Zoo in Asheboro. You get it was basically half off admission for 3 people. So we're going to take the family out there and have a great day and save some money at the same time. It's great to see some local restaurants on here as well. Our business advertises on Living Social. We haven't made it on Fat Wallet yet, but it's great to visit local businesses as well, and not just the large mega chains that we see sometimes in the hot deals of the day. So we've discussed about how the site generally works, and I'd like to get into now about how Fat Wallet can be relevant to what we have discussed in class this semester. I like to start off with memes. I like memes. Didn't even think of using memes as a example, in all honesty, until I saw Connor's presentation. Thanks, Connor. But I found a couple of these online. There's not too many memes about Fat Wallet, but these did come up in a Google image search, and I especially like the guy on the left there, Mr. Black Friday Noob. Why you know Fat Wallet? And then Thursday Fat Belly, Friday Fat Wallet, of course referencing the Black Friday deals that really helped get Fat Wallet on the map and become successful. So I also pulled up some demographics about the typical Fat Wallet user. This probably would tie into Duncan Watts and his feelings, who I'll discuss a little bit later in the presentation. But it's good to know who your audience is so you can tailor your offerings to them. As you can tell about from this particular slice here, median age between 25 and 44 ish, maybe a little older, no kids, pretty good income, educated, very high ranking of amount of Asians using this particular site. It surprised me a little bit because this is mainly a North American site and not a lot of other things, but maybe it's just Asian Americans are particularly high users of this site. And it also gives you ideas at the bottom about who the audience also likes. So you could also use this to partner up with various other sites to kind of work deals out between two sites, uh, and link people from page to page to help um, your SEO. And of course, we also had to take a look at the Pew Internet survey, what they had to say about online shopping. And I must admit, I was a little surprised when I did a search for online shopping on pewinternet.org, and 2008 was the most recent survey that they had available. So hopefully, some of it is relevant. I'm sure a lot of numbers have changed, but I think mainly focusing on the downside of online shopping near the bottom of the graph on the left there is probably the most meaningful, the most relevant, that might stand the test of time. People are still concerned about shopping, and a lot of the older generation are still skeptical about giving their credit card information online. They have no problem giving it to someone in a restaurant or a retail location, but for some reason, doing it on the internet causes some concern for them. But you can also look at some of the other statistics about people making travel reservations online, doing stock trading, online auctions. All these numbers are going up yearly. So online shopping is definitely here to stay, and I think people are finally learning to take better advantage of online shopping and how to do it better. So now I would like to discuss Clay Shirky and Nicholas Carr. These two gentlemen seem to come up in a lot of different presentations, differing views on the way the internet is used, and I think mostly everybody has already sided with Clay Shirky. I have as well in this particular instance. Um, Carr, his main argument is that the internet might have detrimental effects on cognition, which diminish the capacity for concentration and contemplation, whereas Shirky believes in the idea of cognitive surplus. And from his book of that title, there's a quote on page 103 which I think says it best when he said that users can press a tool into service in ways that the designers never imagined, and those new functions are often discovered and perfected not by a burst of solo inspiration, but by exploration and improvement along a collaborative group. That's exactly what Fat Wallet is. A bunch of users. This thing started out really small. A bunch of users got together, made it bigger, more powerful, more useful, and all of it being done by their cognitive surplus, what they've done in their spare time to make the site better. So definitely, I agree with Shirky in this particular debate. So Nancy Bain believes that the purpose of online communities is to reinforce established friendships and form bonds with new friends. I think one of our fellow classmates here, she said it best on the forum about one of the most powerful aspects is the ability to bring people together from all different walks of life, sharing a common interest. Um, One of the great things about Fat Wallet is you don't know who these people are, but um, everybody gets along. There doesn't appear to be a whole lot of negative feedback or negativity on the forums because everyone has expectations of the way that the community is going to behave. Habits being formed, everyone's on the same wavelength when it comes to how to act on the forums. The way that Nancy Bain, she also did a research project in 2009 on Last FM, which is kind of a niche site which connected fans of similar music. And she found that the online friendships based on common taste, in this case, it would be savings and deals, but with Last FM, it was music. The relationships and friendships tended to be more fragile, although people did use the site to maintain closer relationships. Whether or not Fat Wallet is really used to that degree, I think that there is some ties to the online community of Fat Wallet and it being useful and used for that purpose other than just looking for a deal. So Dana Boyd, I'm trying to tie her into this presentation, and I think that James Cox, another classmate on the bulletin board, discussed the use of big data and how it provides better social benefits by distributing resources. Anytime we talk of big data, big data is useful in many different aspects for many different entities. In this case, it would be businesses, and all these websites and businesses are using this big data to reach their targeted audience. Privacy, I don't think is much of an issue on Fat Wallet. Again, you don't have to sign up for a profile. You can remain anonymous and do most of the time what I do. I just look for deals. I don't interact with the boards or the forums or communities at all. I just like to look for a deal and then I can kind of go off and do my own further research. And then the information available to everyone isn't really information at all. It is, I guess, considered knowledge, but if everyone knows about it, is it really information at this point? But Dana Boyd does discuss big data a lot and the way it's used, and I think that in that way applies to this particular presentation. I think Barry Wellman said it best when he mentioned that there are many more consumers than producers of content and information, because that is me to a T. A user on Fat Wallet can either produce or consume or do both, and their user experience can be enhanced by being allowed to manage and make their own content. You can participate in personalized social experiences using different avatars, different badges, and do anything you want, basically suited to your taste. On the other hand, I'm pretty much just a consumer of this product rather than a producer. And now we get to Sherry Turkle. I know this is a little bit of a stretch trying to tie her into my presentation, but she mentions about how people are always going to internet for connections. The more we expect from technology, less we expect from ourselves. She thinks that social networking is eroding our ability to live comfortably offline, and that basically these social networks are changing the way we relate to society. The tie that I can think of, from a personal standpoint in my business, is that many times people think they can haggle on price. with me and other retailers. And I think this has a lot to do with the online mentality and what they see online regarding a lot of these rock bottom pricing and great deals. I think it can translate to um, more local retail business, and you can kind of draw a parallel between how they interact with retailers and what they've learned online. So is this social networking eroding personal communication? That's a question I think that could be brought up in this particular case with Turkle. Duncan Watts believes that social networks are revolutionizing how we view our world. People are connecting, businesses are being created or transformed, and the world seems like a smaller place. When he began his research, Watts came across a paper by Mark Granovetter called The Strength of Weak Ties and about how people find jobs. He found that most people don't locate employment through their friends, but through friends of friends. The same thing with Fat Wallet and the way weak ties are used in finding advice and prices to be used, I think is a good correlation in Watts' research. And also his belief in using data and predictive analytics, helping businesses target markets. Anytime you deal with marketing and advertising, you need to use this big data to determine how your target audience is going to react to a product. And then finally, the last reference I have here is about We Owe It All to the Hippies, their tenets, how all information should be free, how computers can change your life for the better, and then moving from the computers as scientific tools to computers as a personal tool. Now, extreme couponers kind of got a bad rap. Everyone knows that TV show they had a little while back. People were going to a supermarket buying $1,000 worth of food for $2. That's a little ridiculous here, but that kind of group is still a fringe group that could be considered a counterculture. Even people looking for bargains can be considered a counterculture. And the definition of bargain hunting is someone looking for cheap goods or shares which no one has noticed. So, being a counterculture, I guess that could be a correlation how these people are different than the normal society who are just willing to pay full retail price all the time. So that's why I tied in We Owe It All to the Hippies and how those guys believed what they did. So that is my presentation. So I want everyone right now to go out and get yourself a fat wallet like George Costanza from Seinfeld.